The kids are out of school certainly now, and it's a real challenge for parents to make sure that they stay safe. The Monique Burr Foundation for Children has launched a new campaign which aims to protect children. It's the reason that Stacey Pendarvis, Program Director for Monique Burr Foundation for Children, is joining us this morning. Important questions that we all need to ask as parents, and questions that we can teach our children who are a little older to ask as well. So let's start with summer camp. My children are starting summer camp, in fact, today. Yep. And for those parents maybe who had planned some early vacation early in the summer, maybe aren't sending their kids to camp until next month, what are some questions that they should be asking specifically of these camps to make sure that they know that their kids are safe from child predators, for example?
Well, unfortunately, predators always congregate where kids are located. So we have to be aware that even places that we think are safe might not be safe for our children. And we can ask those organizations, camps, daycare programs, we can ask them questions to help us know if they're doing all they can to protect our kids. So things like, are they an accredited program, and what does that mean regarding safety accreditation, safety inspection, safety checks? Do they have policies regarding one adult and one child situations? Most sexual abuse occurs in one adult, one child situations. So if an organization has policies in place that limit those types of interactions, our kids will be safer. Also, do they train their staff? Are their staff required to take safety education programs for sexual abuse prevention, for bullying prevention, and all the types of things that happen to kids when they're in programs such as that?
I mean, it's interesting because we have heard so many cases over the last several years, in fact, where, you know, a predator somehow is able to become a counselor. Yes. Or is a volunteer, as an example. Correct. And I think that we as parents tend to make assumptions that that organization has done all of these background checks, and that some other agency is also making sure that those background checks are being done. Can we make that assumption?
Never. So, you know, an organization can do background checks and they can take precautions, but predators that abuse children are very manipulative and sneaky. And if they've never been caught, a background check isn't going to show anything. So an organization has to take further steps, such as like educating their other staff. What are the signs to watch for, even amongst our own staff, that indicate that a person is grooming a child for sexual abuse? And then they have to have
signs too.
You know, things like singling out a child, giving them more attention than others, giving them gifts, spending quality or extra time with them, wanting them to be alone, things like that. So anytime you have a staff person, a volunteer, a counselor that's trying to isolate a child, that's a huge red flag.
You know, one thing that always worries me is if my children use the restroom by themselves at camp, because often the camps, if it's a museum or any place else, are open to the public, in which case, even if the staff is, you know, is 100% legitimate and doesn't pose any kind of threat, you worry who else could be in the restroom.
Right, and we've heard stories like that where parents send their child to the restroom in a restaurant, and there's a predator in there waiting for them. So we always encourage parents to use the buddy system, teach their kids the buddy system. Don't ever go anywhere alone. It's best to have a safe adult with you, but if that's not possible, at least have a buddy with you so that if something does happen, you have someone that can go tell a safe adult.
And just very briefly, this same kinds of questions need to also follow into sleepovers, pool parties, correct? Any kind of, if you're going to someone else's house and spending the night, because you don't know anything about the people sometimes who are there. Not the parents, but the friends of the parents.
And it might be the parents as well, sadly. Most sexual abuse occurs by someone that a child and their parents know and trust. And so we have to be asking questions. You know, will there be others, like you said, will there be others? And not just adults, but kids. 30% of sexual abuse occurs by other children. So will there be others present? Will you always be, you know, in that same room or in that situation with the child so that there's supervision? So asking those questions, and sometimes parents feel like they shouldn't because they don't want to embarrass the other person. They don't want them to feel like they're, you know, suspicious. But we have to ask those questions to protect our kids.
So true. I always start the question with, I know that I'm overprotective and I'm a freak about this, but I have to ask these questions.
Exactly.
Do you have a gun in the house?
Exactly.
That's usually the first one.
Exactly. And I think the more that parents ask those questions, then we're educating other adults as well about things they need to be, you know, protective of. And so I think we're learning from each other.
We are their best mode of protection, without a doubt. Thank you for being here. Important information, particularly as many kids enter the summer months. Do appreciate it. And of course, the Monique Burr Foundation has a website with the summer safety matter information that's posted there. Also, you can look for this entire interview later this morning on the homepage of news4jax.com. Just look under the morning show page. Now, take